Right in the middle of London, Westminster Abbey, the Palace of Westminster, and St. Margaret's Church are really important parts of British history. These iconic landmarks are not just architectural marvels, but also the very heart of the nation's cultural and political life. They stand as silent witnesses to the passage of time, each stone and spire telling a story of the past. These amazing buildings have seen hundreds of years of coronations, weddings, funerals, and big political events. They've helped shape Britain. From the crowning of kings and queens to the solemn farewells of state funerals, these walls have echoed with the voices of history. The Palace of Westminster in particular has been the stage for countless political debates and decisions that have shaped the course of the nation. Their awesome architecture makes people from all over the world say, wow. The intricate Gothic designs of Westminster Abbey and the majestic structure of the Palace of Westminster are a testament to the craftsmanship of their builders. Every arch, every window, and every tower is a piece of art that has stood the test of time, drawing admiration from visitors across the globe. Come with us as we travel through time and explore the stories and grand designs of these three special places. We'll delve into the rich history and uncover the secrets that lie within their walls. From the ancient rituals of coronation to the modern-day workings of the British Parliament, there's so much to discover. The Palace of Westminster, where the Houses of Parliament are, shows how important democracy is to Britain. It's here that laws are made, and the future of the nation is debated. The House of Commons and the House of Lords, with their rich traditions and vibrant debates, are the living embodiment of British democracy. Westminster Abbey, a beautiful Gothic building, has been where British kings and queens get crowned for over 1,000 years. This sacred place has witnessed the coronation of every British monarch since William the Conqueror. Its hallowed halls are filled with monuments and memorials to some of the most significant figures in British history. And right next to the Abbey, St. Margaret's Church has its own cool history and charm. Often overshadowed by its grander neighbours, this quaint church has been the parish church of the House of Commons for centuries. Its simple yet elegant architecture and its role in the community make it a hidden gem in the heart of Westminster. These three landmarks are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which means they're super important, and they show 1,000 years of British history. This designation recognizes their outstanding universal value and ensures their preservation for future generations. Together, they offer a unique glimpse into the rich tapestry of Britain's past, present, and future. Westminster Abbey, which is really called the Collegiate Church of St. Peter at Westminster, has been by the River Thames for over 1,000 years. It was started in 960 AD by Benedictine monks, but it became really famous because of Edward the Confessor. He rebuilt it in the 11th century. Edward wanted a really grand abbey, like the ones he saw in Normandy. When William the Conqueror took over England in 1066, things changed, and Westminster Abbey became the place where kings and queens were crowned. Since then, 39 monarchs have been crowned at Westminster Abbey. And it's not just coronations. Lots of royal weddings have happened there too, making it even more special. Westminster Abbey's architecture shows how styles have changed over time. It started as a monastery and became this amazing Gothic building. You can see how it's been built and changed over many years. It all began with Edward the Confessor's ideas for a Romanesque church. Then, in the 13th century, Henry III made big changes, making it the Gothic masterpiece we see now. Skilled builders rebuilt the main part of the church, the transepts, and the eastern end in the fancy Gothic style. Later, they added the Lady Chapel and the famous Western Towers. Westminster Abbey has seen over 1,000 years of British history. Every English and British monarch since William the Conqueror in 1066 has been crowned there, except for two, Edward V and Edward VIII. The coronation chair, which Edward VIII ordered to be made, is a really important part of these ceremonies. Westminster Abbey has also been the place for 16 royal weddings. From Henry I's wedding in 1100 to Prince William and Kate Middleton's in 2011, these events have been really exciting for lots of people. The Abbey's beautiful Gothic architecture makes these happy events even more special. St. Margaret's Church, a hidden gem. often overlooked by many visitors. Right next to the grand Westminster Abbey is St. Margaret's Church, a place that people sometimes miss in their rush to see the more famous sights. But this lovely church has its own cool history and is definitely worth a visit. It offers a quieter, more intimate experience compared to its larger neighbor. Benedictine monks from Westminster Abbey started it in the 12th century, and it was the local church for the Palace of Westminster. This means it has been a place of worship and community for over 800 years. It's built in the perpendicular Gothic style, which means it has lots of tall parts and fancy decorations in the windows. This style is characterized by its vertical lines and intricate designs, making the church a visual delight. The church we see today is mostly from the 15th and 16th centuries, with some later additions. These centuries were a time of great architectural development, and St. Margaret's is a prime example of the craftsmanship of that era. The east window is amazing. It's one of the most striking features of the church. It's a stained glass window made in 1509 that shows scenes from the lives of Jesus and Mary. The colors and details are incredibly well preserved, offering a glimpse into the artistry of the past. It shows how skilled people were back then. The creation of stained glass was a meticulous process that required great skill and patience. Important people like Sir Walter Raleigh, William Caxton, and Lady Margaret Beaufort are buried at St. Margaret's. Their graves add to the historical significance of the church, making it a place where history and heritage come alive. The Palace of Westminster Seat of Power. Across from Westminster Abbey is the Palace of Westminster, a huge Gothic Revival building where the British Parliament meets. Big Ben, its famous clock tower, is known all over the world. The palace has an exciting history with fires, rebellions, and changes in how Britain is governed. It all started in the 11th century when Edward the Confessor built a royal home there. In 1834, a huge fire destroyed most of the old building. Charles Barry and Augustus Pugin rebuilt it, creating a masterpiece that combined Barry's grand ideas with Pugin's love of Gothic details. Big Ben, a symbol of Britain. Nothing says London like Big Ben, the clock tower at the Palace of Westminster. It looks impressive, and its chimes are famous. Big Ben is actually the name of the 13.7-ton bell inside the tower. The tower itself is called Elizabeth Tower since 2012 and was designed by Augustus Pugin in the Gothic Revival style. Finished in 1859, it's 96 meters tall and is a key part of Barry and Pugin's design for the palace. The Great Bell, made in 1856, is very accurate and has a special sound. It reminds us of time passing by and how things stay the same. UNESCO World Heritage Preserving Legacy. These sites are recognized for their outstanding universal value, representing a masterpiece of human creative genius. Because they are so important, Westminster Abbey, the Palace of Westminster, and St. Margaret's Church were made a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. These landmarks are not only significant to the United Kingdom, but hold immense value for the entire world. And St. Margaret's Church were made a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. This designation ensures that these sites are protected and preserved for future generations to appreciate and learn from. This means they are important to the whole world. People from all corners of the globe visit these sites to marvel at their architectural splendor and historical significance. UNESCO recognizes how beautiful they are and how important they are to British and world history. The intricate details and craftsmanship of these buildings are a testament to the skill and dedication of the artisans who built them. It reminds us that we need to take care of these special places. Conservation efforts are ongoing to ensure that the structural integrity and historical authenticity of these sites are maintained. People work hard to keep the buildings strong and protect their history. Historians, architects, and conservationists collaborate to preserve the legacy of these iconic landmarks. UNESCO says that the Palace of Westminster is the best example of the idea of parliamentary government. It stands as a symbol of democracy and governance, influencing political systems around the world. It also says Westminster Abbey is a work of genius and is the traditional place where English and British monarchs are crowned and buried. The Abbey's rich history and architectural brilliance make it a cornerstone of British heritage. Conclusion: a journey through time. We've explored London's historic area, from Westminster Abbey to the Palace of Westminster. We've seen the amazing Big Ben and the hidden gem of St. Margaret's Church. These three landmarks tell the story of Britain, its good times and bad times, how it has changed, and the things that have stayed the same. As we leave these famous places, we understand better how powerful history, architecture, and people are.